Hi, my name is Gabby, and welcome back to my channel, Gabby on Paper. If my voice sounds a little off, sorry about that. I've been feeling a little bit sick lately. There's something going around. Just kidding. My name is actually Andy. I am Gabby's boyfriend, and we are going to do a takeover video today where I show you my YNAB budget, and we budget out my first check in August. So a little bit about me. I'm 32 years old. I live here in Chicago with Gabby, and I work in the payroll department for an architecture firm. So, I look at pay slips all day, and then apparently I like to do even more. And she's got me on this YNAB budgeting trip that I resisted for a long time, honestly, and I couldn't really give you a reason why. But I gave in and got added to the account about a year ago, and honestly, I kind of loved it right away. It's been awesome to budget out the money, see where everything's going. I actually kind of feel more in control now of my finances, which is nice. So yeah, we'll get into a little bit more later as we go through the categories, but let's take a look here. So. All right, getting into my budget here, we'll just start with what I call the bills category. So this is nothing exciting or out of the ordinary. We have rent and utility fee, electric bill, pretty self-explanatory, cell phone. Side note, I do kind of still feel like a child because I'm on my family plan with my mom, so I just send her the $75 a month, but hey, I'm still paying for my own phone. The streaming category, so this is just streaming video services, Netflix, HBO, Hulu, etc. We have pretty much most of them, I think, and we split those with Gabby and her family, so it's not too crazy. Gym, so we did join kind of a fancy gym here in Chicago at the end of last year, kind of to escape the winter, honestly, and it's probably more expensive than I ever anticipated spending on a gym, but it is a huge place. It's super nice. We haven't been using it as much in the summer, so it is feeling a little wasteful, but I'm sure once it gets cold out again, we'll be over there more often. So we'll keep plugging away on that one. Subscriptions. So the bulk of this would be the monthly Peloton fee. But also like New York Times games with like Wordle and all that I have in here. I do subscribe to like a Substack newsletter that's in here. So I think honestly those are probably the only three things. Annual fees. So this is kind of a new category. We've started playing the credit card points game earlier this year. Kind of wanted to get into that, so signed up for like a Chase, a Capital One card to get the sign up bonuses. So if any of those cards come with annual fees, I will just put aside some money and put it in this category because I wanted to see how much money I was actually spending on this, see if the points were worth it and everything. So that's what that category is. So moving along, so now we've got what I call my living expenses. So this is just normal kind of everyday expenses that don't fall within set monthly bills. So groceries and dining out, pretty self-explanatory again there. I do like to have them differentiated to see what I'm spending eating at home versus out. I do budget out the same amount generally per month on that. Next would be coffee. So been spending more money on coffee recently. Normally I try to make it at home or just drink the free stuff they have at work, but with it being so hot outside, I've decided to give the iced coffee thing a try. I'd previously only been drinking like hot coffee, but choking that down in 90-degree heat was kind of not the most refreshing thing, so I decided to drink some cold coffee. So I've been spending more money at like Starbucks, and oh man, the way they have that app set up with the stars and the rewards program, whatever they're doing, it's working on me because I've probably made 2 or 3 more purchases than I normally would just because sweet, 50 extra stars. So marketing department at Starbucks, good job. You got a few more dollars out of me than you would have. Congrats. So next, this is a new category, treats. So this is just like, say, ice cream, Slurpees, things like that. I used to kind of just randomly throw those into groceries or dining out. Didn't really have a rhyme or reason there, so I decided to separate it out because it felt like it needed its own category. So drinks, that would just be any alcohol or whatever out and about. I haven't been drinking recently, so so I still have the category, but just haven't been using it. It's been blank for a while now. So here we have the rideshare category. So, again, self-explanatory, Uber and Lyft. I like to keep those separated. We don't use those very much. Try to keep that cost down as much as we can, but we definitely do like to have the option to do that. So set aside some money for that. Household consumables. So that is what I call just things for the house that they're disposable, I guess. So like Swiffers, Lysol wipes, toilet paper, stuff like that. Miscellaneous is just the catch-all for stuff that doesn't fit within these categories. I've tried to kind of minimize my categories as much as I can, but the list keeps growing. It's crazy how much stuff you need in this day-to-day life. So I got the miscellaneous category for anything, though, that doesn't fall within the categories I currently have. Grooming, that's essentially just for haircuts. So I'll throw money in there for haircuts when the time comes. Transportation. So I have this category more for anything that doesn't fall within the ride share. So for instance, we use a bike sharing service here. They're called Divvy Bikes. So we actually did sign up for the annual membership. So the regular bikes are free, but we started riding the electric bikes, which they're discounted with the membership, but they do cost a little. So things like that, scooter rental, or if I have to pay for a train ticket or anything, that would go in my transportation category. Medical would be just any doctor's appointments, prescriptions, stuff like that. Okay, so moving down. So I have separated anything outside of those normal everyday expenses into a category I call spending. So I'm just going down the list here. The shopping category at the top, this is really just more of like I don't know if I'd call it a sinking fund, but it's kind of just like a broad category for shopping that I will move that money around as it comes in. If I want to set aside some money for something, I don't put it like directly in the clothes category or the live events. I'll just have it in the shopping category, but that's pretty fluid. I can move that money around. Entertainment. So this would be things like going to the movies. We haven't gone in a while, but like bowling or things like that. So just stuff out and about. Live events, I did decide to separate this category from entertainment. So this would be like sports games, concerts, things like that. So recreation, I use this for anything like if we go to the driving range, golfing, even at our gym, we do have to pay to rent a tennis court. So I would throw something like that in this category as well. So then moving down, clothes. This one, self-explanatory. I'm trying to spend more money on clothes these days. I've always had kind of a weird relationship with money when it comes to spending on clothes. Like I'd spend $100 on a night out or something and not think twice about it. But when it came down to spending like $70 on a new pair of Levi's, as my old ones were ripping, it was like hard to spend that money for some reason, which is kind of an unhealthy way to look at it. It's been weird. So a lot of my clothes are getting a little bit worn out. So I'm trying to rebuild my wardrobe. This month, this number is going to go up for sure. But I actually feel good about it now. I feel like I'm kind of rounding the bend there, and I don't feel weird about spending money on clothes anymore, which is a good thing. Next category would be gifts. So this is gifts in kind of the traditional sense, like birthday, Christmas, etc. But I'll also throw things in there, like if I treat Gabby to a dinner, or honestly, like even like some giving money to somebody on the street or something like that would go in my gifts category. So essentially just gifting things. So moving down the list here, we've got travel. So this one is a pretty broad category. We travel as far as, flights, hotels, that kind of big basic stuff. But I've chosen to put all the meals that I eat when I'm away, any sort of transportation, like Ubers and Lyfts. If we were out of town, I would actually put in here. So like the entire trip goes under this travel category. So yeah, it's not just like the transportation costs, but everything while I'm away as well. So this category here is SUB, or what we call it, sub. So that is actually just like an annual trip I do with a bunch of guys from back home in Utah. It stands for the Southern Utah Battle, which is kind of dumb, but it's a golf tournament that we meet up for every year, and we're just a weekend of playing. So I did want to separate that out and see how much everything costs. So, paying for the golf, and honestly, I'm putting like my flights and stuff in there as well. It's just a broad category, everything relating to that weekend essentially. And then we have a visitor category. So if my mom or dad or Gabby's family comes to town, we'll generally pay for their like transportation, like their train passes and things, or Ubers and Lyfts, or even if we were to treat them to a meal or something, I put that in the visitors category. So there is some overlap on some of this stuff. Should it be gifts? Should it be visitors travel? But I wouldn't be able to diagram my thought process here, but it kind of makes sense to me in which ones I put it in. So yeah, we got it differentiated a little bit. And then home goods. So this is more like big ticket items for the house. So like if we're going real crazy, like buying a couch or a mattress. Recently we bought a tri-fold mattress for when people are in town. So I put that in the home goods category. Now that I think about it, could have gone in visitors. But see, I struggle with these things sometimes, but it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. So that would be my spending category there. So credit card payments, that is what it is. As I mentioned, I've got a few more than I used to because we're doing the points thing, but that's what that is. And then we've got my savings category here. So I've set aside a decent chunk of money for an emergency fund that, fingers crossed I don't have to touch, but if anything out of the ordinary happened and I wasn't able to cover it, I could grab money here. And my piggy bank is what I like to call my savings category that's like not allocated anywhere. So if I have any extra money, I like to put it in here just in case. So I anticipate that if and when I use this money, it's for a big thing. So we're kind of on the fence about buying a house, but this could very easily morph into like a down payment category, or any sort of like big ticket spending maybe. It's just nice to have that cushion, and I kind of just needed an excuse to use the little pig emoji. I really like that guy, so piggy bank. And then this one, Roth IRA, so trying to max it out this year. So generally I'm sending about $300 per check to my Roth IRA, and that's where the money would go here. And some things that aren't on here, but we do have tracking categories for 401k as well. I've been trying to beef that up as much as I can. Historically, kind of just doing the match for whatever my company offered, but now I'm doing 15% in my current setup. So hope to maybe even get that higher at one point, but that's where I'm at right now. So down to the reimbursement category. Generally, if we have like groceries or something that we're putting on one transaction and splitting, Gabby will take care of that and I'll reimburse her. But sometimes the opposite's true, so that's what this category is for. If I pay for something and she needs to reimburse me, then we use that category. And this Gabby rent, that's kind of the same thing, but just strictly for rent. So yes, those are my current budget categories. Like I said, it is growing. I try to keep it as minimal as I can, but it is growing as things come up and I realize things need to be added, subtracted, more. I like the fact that you're able to edit this. So that's what I've got. All right, well, now that you've seen all the categories, it is time to move this money around. So let's go ahead and budget this. So I just recently started a new job, and getting benefits sorted out and everything like that, it takes a couple pay periods to get down to what the biweekly pay will actually be, steadily moving forward. So past that time frame now, so this is kind of what I'm working with after all my benefits deductions and 401k and everything. It looks like I take home just about $2,100 a month in cash after everything. So this is steady. I do budget a month ahead, so it's currently August, but we're going to be budgeting in September 2024. So the rent, you'll notice, is already taken care of. We were able to negotiate a free month of rent when we... Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that. There's a fighter jet outside our window. They're doing the Chicago Air and Water Show, which it's awesome. We haven't gone to it, but we certainly hear it. But it's cool to see the planes flying around. But they are loud. But yeah, so if you heard that, that's what that was. So getting back to it, so yeah, if you'll notice, our rent my portion of rent is already taken care of for September. We were able to negotiate a free month of rent last year when we renewed our lease. So that just came up. So this is the time. So I don't need to put money towards this category this month, which is awesome. Side note, we did try to do it again this year, and they basically said, screw you, we've given you enough. No. So this is a one-time thing. Maybe we'll try again, because this helps a lot. So rent is already taken care of, and I've played with different ways of doing this, but really my current method is just to budget half of all of my categories with each paycheck in the month. So electric is $50. I'm just going to throw $25 there. Going down the list, $37.50 for phone. I just like keeping it this way. It's just easier for me to keep track of rather than doing a budget of, I pay for some of these categories on my first check, some on the second check. This just makes it easier for me. I should know how to do this math easier, but I'm using the divide sign here.
All right.
Okay, currently no credit cards in the works. Gabby just opened one, so it'll be my turn next, but I'm not going to put any money towards that until we know if and when I'm doing another one. So going down the list, got groceries and dining out. Got the coffee category I mentioned. Honestly, in the summer months, I might have to think about increasing this because I've been drinking those nitro cold brews, which I like them a lot, but they're adding up. So 25, I'm probably going to over budget maybe. We'll see. All right. Sure. So all of these are on more of like a resetting. I spend them all each month, so nothing ever really rolls over. All right. Yeah, so these, I'm budgeting just half of kind of like my set categories, and then I'll go back to August for all the remainder. So I do think I'll be needing a haircut before the end of the month, so we'll do that in August. So moving down. Again, I'm just doing all of my categories which have goals, and then I'll go to last month to fill everything out. All right, so I think that actually takes care of it. So yeah, I've got half of next month budgeted, so that's great. And I was wondering why this number looks so much bigger than usual, but I just remembered I told you about it, the rent. So wow, I wish that was every paycheck, but that's not the case. So let's go back to this month and let's put some money some places. So it's like the 10th right now, so we have plenty of month to go. I'm actually a little alarmed at how much I've spent on groceries and stuff. So all right, but let's keep going. So I will need to get a haircut this month, I think. So I'm just gonna throw $60 there. Hopefully that'll cover it. Oh yeah, non-negotiables here. Got to get down to the Roth IRA. So, like I mentioned before, I'm just doing 300 per check, just kind of keeping that steady. I think at the end of the year, if I wasn't able to max it out, I'll throw a bigger chunk at that point. The piggy bank, I hope to feed you soon, piggy. I just want to look at some other stuff here. So, all right, so travel category, I've got about 1,000 in there right now, but we do actually kind of have an insane schedule coming up. We're going to New York for the U.S. Open. We're going back home to Utah for a bit, and then oh yeah, we're going to California as well. So we really haven't been traveling much, but it's all coming at once in like a 2-month period. So I'm gonna need more than this. So honestly, I don't know. I feel like I throw these numbers around pretty randomly at this point. So we'll see. Just to get started here, honestly, we are going a lot. So I'm gonna get this up to. I think I'm gonna get that up to 1,500. So. Yeah. My gears are turning with my math. Good job, Andy. Okay. So moving along. Like I mentioned, I really actually need to spend more money on clothes. I'm to the point where all my stuff is looking pretty, well, not all of it, but a fair amount of it is looking kind of old. So I need to beef up this category. I did mention a little bit earlier, but I do like to throw that money in the shopping category and move it to clothes. I don't know. It's not a well-oiled machine over here by any means, but I'm trying my best, so don't judge too harshly. So we'll go ahead and add, I'm not going to go crazy here. All right, I think I'm going to add 180.46 just to clean that number up top. All right, entertainment, live events. We're getting quite the recreation budget here. Let's see. So I don't know. I know it never stays this way for long, but I do like to have, clean, air quotes, clean numbers here. So I'm just gonna use this time to kind of get these numbers looking good. I messed that up. 1 second. All right. Entertainment. So that's a monthly expense. So I'll just leave that as is. That'll roll over. Live events. I think I should put maybe another $100 in here. Tickets are just getting outrageous to these things. We sit in the nosebleed still, and it's at least $100 to go to some random, Bulls game for the worst seats in the house. But we got some kind of the fun part of the year sporting event wise with both basketball and football starting. So I'm gonna put some extra money in there for when we decide, if and when we decide to go to a game. The clothes. This is just kind of left over. When I spend money on clothes, I'll just grab it from the shopping category. And then I do think I am going to feed the piggy $347.12. So that's good. I've been neglecting this guy recently, just kind of with all the stuff that's been going on. So we're going to add it here. It's time to save some money. So $347.12. All right, so that is all the money assigned. Like I said, I had a little bit more to work with this time around, just due to the free rent month. So that's nice. I'm pretty happy with where things are going here. It'll be kind of similar next paycheck, I think, with the rent. So this looks good. All right, well, I stumbled through that. I have a lot of respect. Not that I didn't before, but this was harder than I anticipated to budget this out and talk about it. So very proud of Gabby for doing this so frequently. And, I'm always here on the phone watching other people's YNAB videos. So I know a lot of you out there are doing this. It's respect. All right, well, I think I have run out of words, so that is going to be it from me on this video. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.